What was your first thought when you got up this morning? Was it, what can I get today? What am I going to have today? What am I going to be today? Or was it, what can I give to the world today? We wake up in the morning sometimes and we think, gimme, gimme, gimme. Or we think about our problems. We think about the troubles, the challenges, the adversity, the argument we had with our friend, our wife, our boss. Or we think about, another day of work. I can't wait till I retire, or till I get this good job, or till I meet this right girl, or till I get this car, or till I graduate. And you're not living in today. They say if you have 1 foot in tomorrow and 1 foot in yesterday, you're pissing on today. And for lack of a better way to say it, that's the way I say it. And it's true too. You got today. So many people live their lives for tomorrow. And I believe it's good to have a vision for the future. I have a vision for the future, as well as we should have. But now is the time. When you get there tomorrow, guess what? It's going to be now. Yesterday was now, when it was then, when it was now. It's always now. Sure, we need to plan for the future, and we need to dream about the future, and visualize, and emotionalize, so we can make our dreams come to pass. But everything you have today is something you wanted yesterday. And if you're not happy with that, guess what? You're not going to be happy when you win the lottery, get that Ferrari, or get that new Tesla, or get that girlfriend, or that job, or that house, or whatever it happened to be, whatever million other things we desire. Because you're always going to have more desires. You're always going to have something else you want. It's okay to be content with what you have, to be happy with what you have, and still desire more. But we need to be grateful and appreciate what we have, because that gratitude brings more to you. I mean, it took me years to learn that enjoy the journey, what that really meant. I always had goals since I was 20 years old. Well, I had them before that, but I've had written goals since 20 years old. Some of my goals weren't so worthy throughout the years. And you can get those too, if you're willing to suffer the consequences of your desires. But do we think about what we want? When you think about what you want, do you think that it's going to bring certain benefits or consequences? Are you willing to, for example, if you're a single guy and you want to have a girlfriend or a wife, are you willing to be responsible for that? Now you're going to have to tell somebody when you're going to be home, where you're going, what you're doing. You're going to have to take care of her if she wants to stay home and raise the kids. A lot of responsibility with that. You got a lot of freedom being single. Do you really want that? Do you want everything that goes along with it? So many people don't think about that. So you want a new car. Okay, can you pay cash for it? And even if you pay cash for it, can you afford the insurance? You want a fast car. You realize that the speed limit is 65, 75 in some places. And you and I both know you're going to drive it over the speed limit. Are you willing to pay the fines, to pay the consequences if you get caught? Are you willing to take care and maintain that car? For example, a lot of people want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. A lot of maintenance on those cars, a lot of maintenance. Can you afford that? Yeah, is it practical for you? Is it going to make you happy? You want to win the lottery. Do you now? Can you handle that? Do you have the consciousness to handle that much money? Don't pray for the money. Don't pray to win the lottery. Pray for God to help you to rise to the level of consciousness to be able to handle that much, I'll say, power. Money is kind of a representation of power, because what you can do with money, you can get revenge with money. You can help people with money. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money above all else. I love having money. I love money. But do I love money more than I love integrity or character? I believe I do. But until you get put in a position where you have the choice, let me see, if I'm dishonest here, I'll get this job for $10, $20, $30,000, $100,000. It's just a little white lie, but you know it's wrong. So what are you going to do? The choice is there. These are the things you're going to run into when you get more money, whether it's $100 more or $100 million more. Not all people are dishonest, or rich people are dishonest. I've lived among the poverty of third world countries, and it's a lot more dangerous there, and there's a lot more dishonesty there than in the affluent neighborhoods here in the U.S. But so many people want to badmouth people with money. Why do they do that? The only people that complain about money are the ones that don't have enough. And no matter what you give them, they'll never have enough. Because until you have enough money today, until what you have is enough, you will never have enough. One of my mentors told me that. I didn't understand that, but I do now. So many people think if I could just pay my rent without having to struggle. So many people say we're slaves here in the U.S. But who put us in slavery? Who bought that house with a big mortgage? Who bought that Escalade? Who bought that Corvette and signed their life away for it? For some immediate pleasure and long-term consequences. We enslave ourselves by borrowing money. I hear people talk about, man, it takes $250,000 to buy a house. I don't know where you live, but I can go buy a house for $30,000. It isn't much, but it's livable. It's livable, and you can fix it up as you live there. And there's some houses cheaper than that the owner's going to finance. Yeah, they're a wreck, but they're livable. They have plumbing, they have sewer, they have heater, some have air conditioning, electric, water. We have just become so accustomed to this plush society. I read this story once where this guru or some Indian mystic stepped off a plane. He come from India to the U.S. and he looked around and he said, the people here live in paradise and they don't even know it. And it's true. As I've said before, I lived in a third world country for 6 years among the poverty, among the danger. It was like living in the Wild West. The place I lived, they still lynched people. If you got caught stealing, they would chase you down, beat you up, and if you survived that, they would pour gas on you and fire you up. Yeah, really, happened quite often. Everywhere you lived, you had to have bars on your windows, except way out in the country where it was actually still indigenous. The people still lived similarly to the way they lived thousands of years ago. Out there, you didn't have to. But closer to the cities and places like that, very dangerous. And as a gringo, you were a target to be robbed. So, and every time I fly back into the U.S. from a place like that, it's almost like I get a feeling of safety and comfort. And also down there, they have the rock walls, and people just throw their trash over the walls. They don't have the garbage men like we have up here. It's dirty. The rivers are polluted with plastic bottles, trash. There was one river that had a name, and the name signified how dirty and nasty the water was. Constantly trash, and it was just detergent, bubbles in the water all the time. It's like chocolate water or something. Pretty rough. Now, we have polluted streams up here, but nothing like that, at least around where I live. So, why not enjoy what you have here today? Really, I think everybody should travel out of the country. If they did, they would realize how good it is here. But if you don't have contrast, you don't know that. We all need contrast. People do live without toilet paper. People do live without toilets. people do live without cars. I forgot, I was looking the other day. It's like 70% of the people in the world don't have toilets, and about the same amount don't use toilet paper. And what happened to us here during the big pandemic? Oh my God, we couldn't get toilet paper. People were running to the grocery stores and the shelves were empty. It's crazy. I'm sure I could get by without toilet paper. But we've become so accustomed to this. We've become so, well, for lack of a better way, soft and comfortable. One of the key words I hear now is, "Oh, that makes me uncomfortable." Well, good God, you think you're going to get through life without being uncomfortable? Everything you desire is out of your comfort zone. Everything you want is on the other side of comfort. I don't have air conditioning in my room here, purposely. The kids got it downstairs. I don't have it. It gets hot as hell up here. And a couple nights I couldn't sleep very well. I could have air conditioning, but I don't. Kind of like Terry Goggins does. You got to seek out some discomfort, at least in our modern U.S. society here. So seek out some discomfort today. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. And don't be so upset when you're around somebody or you're in a situation where you feel uncomfortable, because that's where the growth happens. And if you want that financial success, you got to have some character. And that's how character is built, by being uncomfortable and walking through it without whining and crying like some little simp. So think about that today. Your life is going to be what you make of it, as well as mine. It's your choice. You're not a victim of the government or the schools or your boss or the company you work for or whatever. You've made a choice to be there, and you can make a choice to do something else. And you live in a country where that is possible because you have freedoms that people don't have in other countries. You have opportunities that people don't have in other countries. Take advantage of them. Find something you love to do. And if you don't love it, learn to love it. Like my dad told me, I hated eating peas. He said, learn to like them. Well, guess what? Peas are my favorite vegetable now. I eat them almost every day, sometimes twice a day. So with that being said, I'm going to go. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found some benefit in this. Take care. Have a great day.